Welcome to Canerica's podcast, The Digital Shift.
Today we are diving deep, and I mean really deep, into one of the most critical choices that modern organizations are facing.
Which is how to navigate this massive flood of enterprise data and make the right analytical investment.
That's it. Digital transformation has just created this data deluge. I mean, information is streaming from everywhere.
From every corner of your business, right? Your ERP, your CRM, sensor data on the factory floor. The problem isn't collecting it anymore.
No, not at all. It's figuring out how to translate all that chaos into a real strategic advantage.
And this is not some theoretical exercise. The stakes are. They're immense.
Yeah, a recent 2025 study really highlighted the urgency here. It found that nearly 65% of organizations have already adopted or are, actively looking into advanced AI and data analytics technologies.
So if you're not doing this, you're already falling behind.
You are.
Okay, so this brings us to the core strategic choice we're talking about today. The difference between business intelligence, or BI, and predictor analytics, or PA.
And we have to get this distinction right from the get-go, because if you confuse them, you're going to make some poor investments.
So at a high level, BI is about visibility. It's looking in the rearview mirror to understand what happened.
And critically, why it happened. It's your performance tracking system.
And predictive analytics is the forward guidance system. It's the foresight. It's about forecasting what could happen next.
So you move from just monitoring history to proactively anticipating the future.
Exactly. Our mission today is to give you a really clear, structured comparison of these two. We'll look at their purposes, the skill sets they need, and most importantly, how they combine to deliver maximum business value.
So let's start at the foundation. Let's define business intelligence.
Okay, so BI is the historical navigator.
Perfect way to put it. It's a structured process, acquiring, processing, and then presenting historical and current data. It is focused entirely on descriptive analytics.
So explaining the past to manage the present. It's pretty much the essential capability for any data-driven organization.
It is, and the practical output is what everyone recognizes. The dashboards, the interactive reports, KPI scorecards.
All those drill downs in tools like Power BI or Tableau.
Exactly. That's the engine that converts all this raw data from your ERP or your CRM systems into, readable, governed knowledge.
And the workflow, while it seems simple, is actually critical for building trust in the data, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It moves from data ingestion to rigorous data modeling, that's the cleaning and structuring part, and then into reporting, and then, continuous monitoring and governance.
That process is what ensures the quality and the consistency.
And the value is just unparalleled visibility. Think about retail using BI for sales tracking, or finance using it for risk monitoring. It clarifies really complex questions.
Like, what were the top 3 reasons for our supply chain delays last quarter? BI answers that.
Exactly. So now let's shift that focus forward. Let's talk about predictive analytics, the forecasting engine.
This is where we stop reporting on the past and really start trying to model the future.
Yes. PA uses advanced stats, machine learning, and mathematical models to forecast those future outcomes. It's entirely forward-looking.
And I've heard it deployed in 2 tiers.
Yeah.
Predictive and then prescriptive.
Correct. Predictive answers the question, what will happen? But prescriptive, the more advanced tier, goes even further. It tries to answer, what should we do about it?
So what are the specific techniques behind that? Because it's not just looking at a trend line on a graph.
Yeah.
This is much more sophisticated.
It is. We're talking about core machine learning techniques.
Yeah.
We use regression models to forecast numbers like next quarter's revenue. We use classification models to predict categories.
Like whether a customer is going to churn or if a transaction is likely to be fraudulent.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the PA workflow, it's far more demanding than a standard BI reporting cycle.
I can imagine.
Absolutely. You start with immense data preparation. That can take up most of the time. Then you move into something called feature engineering.
Which is basically creating new variables for the model to learn from.
The art of it, yes. Then comes model training, rigorous evaluation to make sure it's accurate, and then finally deployment. And that means integrating its output into real business workflows.
That complexity suggests a huge difference in strategy. So let's unpack those core distinctions now, moving past the basic definitions.
Okay, first, you have to consider time orientation. BI operates in the past and present. Its purpose is descriptive.
Right, monitoring current performance. But PA is all future tense. Its purpose is predictive and sometimes prescriptive.
It's all about anticipating risks and directing action.
And the methods reflect that. For BI, you're using standardized tools, SQL queries, interactive dashboards,
Oh.
and the output needs a human to interpret it to decide what to do next.
But PA requires deep technical sophistication, machine learning algorithms, statistical modeling. The outputs are things like probability scores, risk assessments, or even automated recommendations.
And those outputs are often designed to feed directly into operational systems, right?
Mhm.
To minimize that lag between insight and action.
Exactly. And this brings us to a really critical point for any organization planning this out. The user persona and the data they need. You are hiring for entirely different roles.
This is so important for resource planning. BI is designed for the business analyst, the manager, people with deep domain expertise but maybe not coding skills.
Yes, and they need structured, curated data. They rely heavily on self-service tools.
But PA just flips that completely. If your team is struggling to even get basic reporting right, jumping straight to PA is, well, it's a recipe for disaster.
It is. Because PA users are data scientists. They're machine learning engineers. They need high-end stats training, programming skills in Python or R, knowledge of ML frameworks.
And their data appetite is huge. They need structured data, sure, but also vast amounts of unstructured data, text, images, sensor feeds to build those accurate models.
And that leads us to a concept that makes BI so foundational, something called the semantic layer.
Right. Why is governing the data so crucial before you even try to predict anything?
Well, the semantic layer is the single source of truth for your business metrics. It defines once and for all what net sales means or how you calculate on-time delivery.
Without that, every department just creates its own report with slightly different definitions.
And that instantly destroys trust. The data becomes unreliable for recording and for prediction. BI enforces that governance.
So we've established BI is necessary for visibility, and PA provides the foresight. The real power lies in putting them together. They aren't competitive.
No, they're absolutely complementary. They form a single, unified decision system. They have to work together.
So BI provides the clean, historical, governed data that's essential for training accurate machine learning models.
If your input data is garbage, your prediction is guaranteed to be garbage. It's that simple.
And then the loop closes. The PA model generates, say, a risk score for a customer. That score is then written back into the BI layer.
Yes. So now the sales manager doesn't need a separate app. The prediction becomes actionable because it's right there, visualized next to the customer's historical KPIs in their Power BI dashboard.
That integration is what defines a modern unified stack, right? Data flows into a lakehouse, BI organizes it, ML models use that same governed data, and the predictions are looped back.
It ensures total consistency and supports real-time decisions.
And this challenge, getting that seamless governed synergy, is precisely where so many organizations hit a wall. Their data environments are fragmented, governance breaks down.
And scaling becomes impossible. That's why focused expertise in deployment and governance is so vital. We at Canarica stand at the forefront here, delivering solutions that really redefine how businesses deploy, manage, and scale their analytics platforms.
It's about bridging that gap between historical reporting and predictive action.
It is. As a premier Microsoft-certified data and AI solutions partner, we specialize in transforming those really complex deployment challenges.
Getting data from all these disparate systems into one unified model, into seamless enterprise-grade Power BI environments that actually accelerate decision-making.
And our approach, it goes far beyond just building a basic dashboard. We design end-to-end business intelligence strategies. They have to unify governance, security, scalability, and performance. We make sure that the data reliability you need for BI is maintained when it's feeding complex ML models.
So let's look at some real-world applications of that foresight. When should a business really prioritize predictive analytics?
You should focus where proactive action gives you a massive ROI. The classic example is demand forecasting. Retailers use PA to optimize inventory, cutting waste, and stockouts.
Or customer churn prediction. A telecom company identifies customers likely to leave and then launches a proactive retention campaign. That saves millions.
Then there's dynamic pricing. You see with airlines all the time, adjusting prices based on predicted demand. And predictive maintenance and manufacturing is huge.
Right, anticipating machine failures before they happen,
Yeah.
which reduces costly downtime.
Exactly. But even with all that potential, both BI and PA face some significant hurdles. They're not magic wands.
They require continuous investment and vigilance. So what are the top challenges for BI?
For BI, it's usually organizational and foundational. We constantly deal with data silos where data is scattered everywhere.
Leading to inconsistent reports.
Inconsistent reports, slow refresh cycles, poor data quality, it all just erodes executive trust.
And for PA, the challenges are more about technology and talent, I'd imagine.
Definitely. The intense need for skilled data science resources is a major bottleneck. But maybe the most difficult operational challenge is something called model drift.
Model drift.
Yeah, it's just this insidious problem where a model's performance gets worse over time because the real-world patterns it was trained on have changed. It requires constant monitoring and retraining.
So if we had to debate, which is more damaging, BI's data silos or PA's model drift?
Oh, data silos, every
Uh,
single time. If your foundation is cracked, that's BI. Nothing you build on top of it will stand.
I agree. You can at least monitor for model drift, but you can't monitor data you don't trust in the first place.
That's it.
So to make this more concrete, let's walk through a real BI example. Let's say, inspired by a large supply chain organization running a huge system like SAP.
Okay. So in those large manufacturing environments, a huge challenge is always fragmented operational data. The sales and delivery teams, they just lack a consolidated view of open orders or shipment status.
Because all that data is scattered across different SAP modules like SD and FICO.
Exactly. So the solution is classic BI modernization. You integrate that complex SAP order-to-cash data, the delivery tables, the margin logic, all into one structured data model in an enterprise-grade Power BI environment.
And the outcome is immediate, powerful visibility.
Right. Managers stop chasing manual reports. Instead, they track essential KPIs, total open orders, on-time delivery rate, margin percentage, all on a single dashboard that updates every few hours.
And that timely, consistent insight leads to rapid adoption and direct improvement because bottlenecks just become instantly visible.
That example just perfectly illustrates it. You need that unified governance and clear visibility today before you can effectively predict future margin erosion or delivery delays with a PA model tomorrow.
So, to summarize our core message here, you need BI for that fundamental visibility into performance.
Understanding your past and your present, and you need PA for that essential foresight to anticipate future opportunities and mitigate risk.
The combination isn't optional. It's the fundamental requirement for intelligent decision support.
And through integrated business intelligence and data analytics, we at Canerica empower organizations to transform their data landscape. We enable them to make data-driven decisions with greater precision, improve operational excellence, and unlock the full value of their data.
It really is about shifting your entire organization from just reactive reporting to proactive anticipation.
It is. But let's leave you with one final thought to mull over, specifically on that challenge of model drift. If model drift is inevitable, and we know real-world patterns are constantly changing, consumer behavior, supply chain dynamics, you name it, how frequently must your organization commit real resources to retraining and redeploying its core models just to maintain that crucial edge of foresight?
Before you simply fall back into reactive reporting again, that required cadence.
Yeah.
That's the real cost of entry into the predictive world. Thank you for joining us on The Digital Shift.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.